Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again with another video from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. I actually want to come to y'all with another video, man, talking about how shifting flood patterns across Europe linked to climate change. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read some of the notes from the article, and I'm going to leave the article in the description box so you can also do further research on your own, okay? Now, they were saying climate change has increased the severity of flooding across northwest Europe over the last 5 decades. A continental scale study by researchers in 24 European countries has found the largest increases in flooding were seen northern parts of the UK. Scientists at the Vienna University of Technology in Austria, the multinational team, look at river flow and looked at river flow data, from 4,000 monitoring, stations across Europe between 1960 and all the way to like 2010. They identify clear regional patterns of both increases and decreases in floods across Europe over the 50-year period. These range from increases in flood levels of 11% per decade in northern England and southern Scotland, to decadal decreases of 23% of parts of Russia. According to the researchers, the changes are broadly consistent with climate model predictions for next century and provides evidence that climate-driven changes in flooding already occurring. This is real deep right here. I mean, really listen. Excuse me. And it's already occurring. They add that their results, let me go back. They said they add that their results, support the idea that climate impacts now need to be considered when designing flood management strategies. This study is the first time that we see evidence of climate change in flood observations. Gunther Biashi, a hydrologist at the Vienna University of Technology, told Physics World. People have done simulations in the past of climate impact on floods, and people have looked at individual catchments and looked at trend and flood observations. But this is the first time we actually seen climate impact on flood observations at the continental scale. Now, they were saying, as well as flow data, the scientists assess change in key drivers of flooding, including precipitation, soil moisture, and air temperature. This enabled them to identify three regional trends: increases in autumn and winter precipitation and wetter soils, and increase in floods in northwest Europe, while in southern Europe floods are decreasing due to a reduction and also precipitation, and also increased evaporation of soil moisture. Floods are also decreasing in eastern Europe, but this is driven by reduced snow cover and snowmelt due to warmer spring temperatures. They also said the team found that in some areas, spring air temperatures has increased by as much, between like 1 degree Celsius per decade. According to the researchers, these changes are linked to the changes in the atmospheric, also what they were saying right here, it's like different weather patterns, such as storm tracks and jet streams. The poleward shift of the pole, I'm sorry, the poleward shift of the subpolar jet stream, which sits between the cooler mid-latitude air and the warmer equatorial air, and changes, in its associated storm tracks, and also the slowing of the northern jet stream had led, to which is have led, to like increases of precipitation in northeast Europe and increase the chances of stalled weather patterns. So what they're saying is like, Europe is actually dealing with a lot of flooding. They also saying like how certain parts of Europe are not flooding, but they saying like a lot of parts in Europe now start to be flooded because there are a lot of changes as far as like, the air temperature, the precipitation, the wetter soils. Some soils are dry And this is something right there that they're really taking a look at, because ever since the planet is going through these changes, certain parts of the world are seeing different kinds of weather patterns that they're not used to. But I had to come to y'all with this video, man, spread thoughts up on this, shed light up on the situation. I felt the need of y'all had to hear this subject. Keep on liking and subscribing to my channel. Always appreciate the love. And this your man B Miles coming to you live once again from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. One love once again. Peace.